Welcome Atlanta United family to another episode of Resurge Despite ATL. Glad to have Tommy back here once again.
Hey, I survived COVID. What's up?
Yeah, yeah, I don't even want to be the one to say it, but yeah, man had COVID, so but he's still with us. So
Yeah,
yeah, like I said, man, glad to have you here.
I
Now
can smell
again.
things again. That's the most exciting thing.
Yeah, man. I was kind of afraid I had COVID like a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I still somewhat don't feel 100%, but thankfully it wasn't that. But so now getting to what we're here for, some Atlanta United news. As we all know, we lost this Sunday against Inter Miami, a pretty shameful, disappointing result for Atlanta United, but now we have more disappointing news because we continue with the injury crisis. We have now been told, Atlanta United reported that George Campbell is out with abductor injury, and is out week to week basically. So we don't know how long that's gonna be until we see him again. So
And what they say, probably like 2-3 weeks is probably the likely prognosis of that. And I mean that's okay. I mean, we had the Alan Franco game in Colorado where he really had a bad game and basically lost it for us, right? Like he had
yeah,
some bad things. George was the really the reason for that loss. He had some real bad plays in that game, and I think the first goal that went in. If he dives, he probably stops that ball from going in. I mean, it was a real nice goal, that the first one that we allowed. But he just stood there and didn't go down anything, try to block it. And then the second one was just like multiple errors by George, and I mean, it was a soft, pass into the middle of the field, gets intercepted. He tries to come back, defend it, does a terrible job, tap in, we lose. It was not a good game for George. Maybe it was the hair. I blame his hair for those bad goals allowed. But yeah, he's young, and Pineda really protected him. I think in the post game conference. He's a good player. I think that he just needs more playing time, and I can't really complain about him the entire season, right? Like he hasn't had terrible games. This was a bad game for him though. But prior to that, I really didn't have many complaints about him. But hopefully he comes back from the injury quick, and by the time he gets back, he'll already forgot about this terrible game he played.
yeah. Speaking of injuries, today also the club came out with the three players that have been placed on the season um injury list. So obviously out for the season. Brad Guzan, Dylan Castahera, and Ozzy Alonso. So now they announced also the loan, which I mean, I think pretty much 90% of the fan base already knew that Rocco Rios Novas was coming in back again on the loan. So now, what are the other positions that you go after? I mean,
So you have two spots left. I don't understand the roster rules of MLS, and how you could replace them. I've asked around. Not nobody really seems to understand, even some of the big MLS guys. So I think you get one player that you're going to be able to replace with like a large sum of money. And I think it's like 250K from at least what I read. So hopefully that's not Rocco Rios, and we can bring another decent player in, hopefully a veteran type player in. But yeah, I mean, we kind of knew this was expected, but I think they had to officially announce those because Rocco's was officially joining the roster today. I think like today was the official day that he actually shows up on our roster page. So I think they had to announce that. So that's probably just what they had to do.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, we had this conversation on Sunday, whether who will be the positions that we could fill in. Some are saying right back, some are saying center mid, some are saying an attacker. Um, Obviously, those all three positions are very important. And
Right back's not happening. There's no way.
yeah, yeah, they're not
Ronald
gonna
and,
let
and
go of.
Lennon are there.
Yeah, I mean, they just literally signed Ronald this season, in a permanent deal, so it's not like they're gonna let him go. Same with Brooks. If I'm not mistaken, well, he's got like a 4-year deal or five. I'm not. I mean, but it's. I don't think it's a 2 or 3 year deal. It was multiple years, but yeah,
He's
they're
a
not
couple
gonna
years into
replace.
it, though. I mean, he's,
Yeah, he's
obviously
already
a few years.
2. Yeah, he's probably got 2 already in, but given the fact that how the contracts, well, especially Ronald's, I don't see him going away. But what about the attacking position? Is that something you think that Atlanta will gamble for?
I mean, you look at it, Aruju and Almada. I know Almada kind of just plays around everywhere, but they always, whenever you see the graphic, he's technically on the wing. I mean, you got those guys. You've got um, Wyke, being able to move up there as well. Moraney,
I
I
mean,
guess
yeah,
it.
you
You don't
still got,
you
yeah, Dom Dwyer too. What's the other guy? Cisneros as well.
Well, yeah, and that's not even I was just thinking. So I was just thinking the wings there, and you have Machop Chol, who knows if he's ever going to return. So I mean, that's basically what you have there. Then you've got the striker position where you've got Cisneros, you've got Dwyer, you've got Joseph. So you've got three there. Now there's still talks about Hoppy. I mean, it's not dying out here. I mean, the talk's still going around, that he could be coming around it. So if that happens, where does he play? Because as far as my understanding is, he can't play. He can play wing a little as well, but his natural position is striker. So that's interesting. And then the midfield, it's like I don't know. Can you really get somebody that impactful? I mean, I Sosa's not coming out. If he's healthy, he's playing. Hyman's going to be. I mean, he's slowly figuring himself out. Um, you know, he's getting a little bit more time every game. So, I mean, what's April, end of April now? I would assume by the beginning or end of May, beginning of June, he's probably starting games. And then it's the other, spot in the midfield. Well, then obviously Moreno playing as well. But who's going to take that um, Rosetto? You got Rosetto over there, and then you have Sadic,
Sosa, Ibarra.
Sadic, yeah,
Yeah.
Ibarra. Like you got some guys. Like this team is really deep. And that's why I guess I was really frustrated when I was doing the Twitter Spaces. Like people were coming in and like really bashing the team overall, just of everything. And it's like go back to 2 years. Hey, you were there. You were
Yeah.
on it.
No, I was
So
one of the ones bashing because I was pissed, man. I was honestly pissed at that result.
Well, let me hop on my soapbox for a minute. This is 2 years ago. We lost Joseph. We just lost Joseph early in the season, right? And the team never came close. Maybe the next game wasn't terrible because we won against Cincinnati at home. But then COVID happened, and then after that, you saw zero attack. The team was terrible. You had Pity, you had Barco, you had Heineman, you had Kubo and Adam John, but like the team all across the board was just absolutely terrible. I hated game days because I had to watch that shit. It was terrible. And then the next year you go into it, and Joseph's recovering, and it's still like we thought that it was an okay team and was getting better. But this team is deep enough, and they're creating chances. This team is fun. You go back 2 years ago, if you want, I would take this team any day over what we had 2 years ago. And we've had a ton of injuries, and we're still very competitive. I mean, Joseph's out, and we're still creating chances. We're not scoring. I understand that, but I think overall, when you look at it and you look at the law of averages, goals are going to be coming in. If they keep playing like this, it's going to get better before it gets worse. Um, if they keep playing like this, and of course, we haven't been playing great defensive teams. I understand that, and we're going to be going up against some better competition next month. So this could literally turn into 2 years ago. We don't know, but we've had opportunities over the past 2 weeks in MLS. I don't want to. I'm going to ignore the Open Cup game, but in the past couple weeks of MLS, we're putting up chances. We should be winning. Old Atlanta United, it seemed we would probably be winning these games 4-5, 5-0. Um, it's just they're struggling right now, and I think when you look at you know specifically like hockey, like this happens to hockey teams all the time. Like, just you can't buy a goal to save your life. So I mean, that's at least the sport that I know the most. But it's almost like a ketchup bottle. That's what the my favorite hockey player says. It's a ketchup bottle. You just keep shaking it, and then once it finally starts coming out, all the goals will come. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's
I mean, the
my beautiful speech
opportunity,
there.
yeah, the opportunities. I mean, are getting there. It's just a matter of confidence. I mean, I see guys like Armada a lot of times. Trying. He's the one to me that has kind of stuck out the most for being, more of the trying to be a little bit more. What's the right word? Like just more attack minded, honestly. Like he just tries to do that extra to create himself a little bit more space, or not also for him, but for the other players as well. So for me, it's like the it's just a matter of confidence in that final touch. I would expect, like you said. I mean, things could only get really better. I don't. How long has it been since Joseph's injury, or that he got thing?
I mean,
So he
that was
when is he's supposed to come back? Like June, right?
so yeah. It's probably middle of June because they go on a little break there for the international window. I don't think they come back until like June 14th or something like that.
Mhm.
So you got a 6 weeks, but probably like 4 weeks of games, 4 or 5 weeks of games left. But like you saw beautiful music being made with Moreno and Amada, right? Like they were really connecting on some passes. They really are getting a feel on how each other move and where they're going to pass the ball. Like we saw that a lot on Sunday. Now take that and now add Arujo in, right? And give that a game or two for them to start being able to hook up a little bit better. Then you're just you're creating even more chances. Like these two are already starting to get it together. Get another guy in there, and it's going to go. And like I know there's accounts out there that have been trashing Atlanta United, saying you know they can't score goals. This is they're spending the most money. MLS Buzz saw them, going after Atlanta United on Sunday. It happens, but like this is like almost like the Seattle Sounders, right? Like they have a bunch of good players. They struggle early on in the season. They're not terrible, but they're just struggling to score goals and get it together. And then it comes together in the summer. You
I
just got
want
to
to
stay
get
competitive.
Yeah, I want to get your guys' opinion as well. With the positions that we've been talking, like what positions would need to be filled in for Atlanta United, for those of you who are watching. But yeah, Tommy, getting into the what I mean, I don't know, man. We have Montreal next. I mean, this is a game that was really, really weird last time that we played them, honestly. Weird in the sense that I feel like after that, we haven't been having the goals that we should have, um for the amount of opportunities that we're creating. And Montreal is the opposite. I mean, they've been scoring goals left and right. I mean, they've had really good results lately. I mean, they picked up 10 of the last 12 points, have won against teams. I mean, they beat Vancouver and all that, but they tied against the last game they had. They tied Philadelphia at home 1-1. They beat also the New York Red Bulls 2-1 at New York. They had a huge comeback against Cincinnati 4-3. I mean, this team has picked it up honestly in the last couple of games. So uh, I expect it to be honestly physical. How it's been the last few games ever since last season with Montreal as well. So
Joseph's not there to start a fight.
yeah, yeah, we have John Thompson, and I'm excited for the future. Yeah, I mean, the it's just the confidence, man, right in front of goal. I mean, I've seen, like you said, it happens, man. It's crazy when you think about it. Sometimes goals just come and come and come, but there's just you go through it, man. And unfortunately for Atlanta, we've just had that 2 to 3. I guess you could count this year, the third being the third year, where we haven't been seeing the soccer that we're accustomed to.
I mean,
I
it's been
personally,
injuries. It's
yeah, I mean, it
it's a lot
really
of it.
is. Yeah, I mean, 90% of it is injuries, honestly. But when you get down to the point of like, all right, this team is definitely better. They're, gonna get it together eventually. But I mean, what? I mean, I didn't. Let me see if I have it here. But at what point does Pineda start, being questioned? At what point, if we start having bad results, let's just quote unquote, you know, say that Pineda starts having a bad stretch of matches. At what point does it start getting worrying for him, for the front office, for a lot of fans? I mean, a lot of fans already already won him out, honestly, man, which is crazy. I mean, at least give the guy a full season, man.
You want my answer?
Yeah, I mean, well, at what point do you start questioning it?
Not even close this season. You can't question it at all. Um, this is a long term project, right? We've gone through so many coaches where it's been a 2 year project, and I've talked trash about these 2 year projects nonstop. I know Frank was supposed to be longer, um, but I mean, there was kind of a thought that maybe he might stay for a couple years and then move on. Heinze was another person that was like, got a 2 year contract, and then we'll see if we'll go from there. Pineda is supposed to be the long term solution for this club, right? And one, he's taken over a roster that really hasn't been his, right? Like we're stuck in a lot of contracts. There hasn't been a ton of movement here. He still wants to bring his own guys in, and from what we hear, Cisneros is one of those guys that that he requested to come in. So he's taken over a squad that's really not his, and obviously he's dealt with injuries. And I know that people blame the front office for these injuries, which I think is silly. Blame the training staff, and maybe some of that actually is true. But you can't say all of it. Like that shove down on Campbell has just been was dirty, in my opinion. Threw him down. Oh boy, he's here, huh?
I
But
told you, man. I told you, people want him
yeah,
out.
but he's a whole other world here.
Yeah.
But there's he's not going to get questioned this season at all. And I think even if the fans start saying, Pineda out, it's not going to happen. You got to give him an opportunity to get his own players in here. And honestly, the biggest thing is, and I'm going to go back to what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. We talked about with the Atlanta Falcons is, when will this team? I hope that they've learned from the Falcons that sometimes you got to move on from people. And that means the front office. The Falcons held on to their front office for way too long. And I think I'm sure there's a lot of Boca haters in here. But you also got Joseph. And as much as everybody loves Joseph Martinez, if he comes back here after this injury and is not able to play, do you think that the front office has the balls, because let's say what it is,
Yeah.
to release him?
I mean, he would have to finish his contract. I mean, that's the only way that I see. I mean, I don't see them buying out his contract or either or doing something crazy. If anything, if for whatever reason he's not 100% by the end of the season, I feel like it'll probably come to the talk of, all right, are you gonna be comfortable with
Retire.
either taking a role player or being a role player? I don't know if Joseph would take that, or even given the fact of even considering playing at all. I mean, we've talked about this before. I mean, the guy wanted to retire, after what that second or injury or whatever. I mean,
The third
surgery.
surgery. The
Yeah,
third
the
surgery. He had
yeah.
three.
So
He had three that off season. From at least my understanding was he had three surgeries. So, and I know we talked about it, but I mean, maybe he retires, and this is all just me just saying something that's not even true. But like, you got to think in an MLS league where your roster is so important on your DPS, and if he's never going to be the same again, what do you do? But again, we're getting off on some rants here about this, but I'm just saying, like, this isn't the roster that he has. His highest paid player hasn't been healthy in 4 years, almost 4 years, right? 3 years, and I don't know, like.
I
I'm
mean,
not really sure what to think
with
here,
the
but like I
whole
see this comment here about I missed the fast tempo attacking Atlanta United. What did I watch a different game on Sunday? Like,
I
and
mean,
I wish I wish I could have a conversation. I hope that you could come on to Teams one day or on
yo,
Teams
man, I'm telling you,
Spaces.
I've been trying to get him to come, man, but he just don't want to. I sent him an
I
invitation the other day on Spaces, but I don't know, man.
I mean, I would like you to come on because I watched a game where I watched this team attack, and they again, I mean, Miami was bunkering. They definitely didn't want to. Um, okay, you joined this weekend. I don't believe you.
You know what I think that what people actually refer to. Look, I mean, we are getting the opportunities that we haven't had the past 2 seasons basically. But when you compare it to 2017, 18, and even part of 2019, the end of 2019, I mean, I get it. I mean, it's just the fact that it felt like Atlanta United every time they got the ball up forward, it was just being direct enough to where you knew it was going to end up between the posts, between like it was going to be a shot on target where
Do we have
Joseph
speed?
was. Yeah, I mean, the
Well, we don't have that
Joseph was in
speed.
another level, which I mean, if this guy gets the ball in the 18, I mean, it's 50-50 goal. I mean, it's 50% chance that's a goal. So now going into with what he was saying over here. Yeah, I mean, that's I get that, from the fans. And honestly, with what you were saying as well, with Pineda being a long-term project, and this is obviously not the team that he would want to have eventually. If this is a long-term process, we would hope that it gets to that. We're seeing, somewhat flares and flashes of what the team can do, but the man hasn't really had I mean, not even the first game of the season, we had 100% healthy squad. We were still missing Moreno. I think he wasn't like fully healthy. Sosa was another one. Obviously Hyman. So we literally have not been healthy. I think probably since 2019. Seriously, it's always been injuries, man. Like ever since. Man, I blame COVID, bro. Like I don't know. Like seriously, it feels like ever since COVID hit, it hit Atlanta United the worst than anybody, honestly.
Okay, so we talk about the 2017 team, right? Okay, 2018 a little bit, but we don't have speed. We don't have
Mm.
that. This team is not made like that squad. So I'm not going to blame, you know, I'm going to miss the fast tempo attacking Atlanta United. I get that, but that's not on Pineda. I mean, who's the fastest guy on this team right now?
For me, Araujo.
Okay, maybe Mulroney.
Yeah, yeah.
Mulroney's got some speed. Like Almada, I mean, I think has a little bit of speed to him. I don't think it's crazy, but like I've seen the past couple of weeks a very inspired Atlanta United, and I see it coming together slowly. And Almada, who didn't join till what, week three or week four was his
Yeah.
first appearance. Like he's getting settled, and we know that especially these young players have a hard time. Most of them, not all of them, have a hard time getting into MLS and really just figuring the things out. This team is figuring out how to move forward. It was very inspired as far as that goes. Now the finishing is very blah. You know, the thing that I ranted on before the game was Brooks Lennon leads what, three or third now, I think, in the league in chances created. I hate that stat because I've watched Brooks Lennon since he's came to the squad, and sure, he's getting balls into the box. There's nobody there. It's either going over it's going over all the players, or it is getting there, but everybody's around them. Like he waits too long. And he did look a little bit better. He seemed a little bit more creative in that play, but again, like, you know, I mean, we talk about when teams struggle, they push too hard. I mean, he Young Ho Kood that ball way over into the field goal post when I mean, that was an easy tap in,
Yeah.
and he kicked it. You know, he pitied it all the way out of the stadium. Like it's ridiculous. So I don't know. I think that they're doing better, and I don't understand the Pineda hate right now. If you want to talk about the defensive mistakes, I definitely think that there's been a lot of defensive mistakes with the squad,
Yeah.
and how they transition back has been, you know, that Cincinnati game could have gotten real ugly because there was
It's
multiple chances that a good team goes back there and scores 4 goals in that Cincinnati game, but they're just a bad squad, and that's why they didn't score. Now go to this game. Miami did not look good, but they made Atlanta United pay on that chance. Like that could have very, very easily happened multiple times in the Cincinnati game. So, you know, if you can't transition back, and I don't really think, you know, I haven't really had much of a problem with Miles the past couple of games. The beginning of the season, I did not think Miles was very good. Definitely struggled, and then he, you know, did that. He took some dumb yellows, and then that dumb red when he got the red. Just some dumb plays by him early on, but he's definitely settled in. I think Sosa needs a little bit more time. I think he's
yeah.
still fully recovering from his surgery. But we didn't have these many mistakes when Ozzy was playing. But now that's on Sosa, right? And he's got to live up to that. So those three really, I mean, we say those three, but really, I mean, Franco needs to come back and not be, you know, shit. But I mean, they definitely need to get the. I'm more worried about the defense. And if you remember, they talked about it in training camp. They worked more on the defense aspect because all the offensive players were gone. Right? It was like just you know, like Joseph was gone. Who else was gone on international duty?
No, we ain't even have Almada at the beginning there.
Yeah, we didn't have Almada. Like we were missing a ton of guys. So that was and Moreno was hurt. So okay, so yeah, now it's all coming back. Moreno was hurt in part of camp. I think no, actually all training camp, right? I think he was hurt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he didn't even play in none of the friendlies or anything, I believe.
So that's all they focused on mostly in the off season or the preseason was defense, and that's been not that good. But the offense, if you go back, besides that first game, right? Like the first game, I don't know how they did what they did, but they looked really good offensively. Since then, it's just been a slow, gradual, like, all right, we're getting a little bit better. We're getting a little bit better. And I've actually seen a jump the past 2 weeks. But again, it could just be who we're playing. But I don't know. I think that he needs some time. And I think that some of the criticism that he's getting is just a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, definitely with the season, I mean, I don't think. I mean, it will have to be something atrocious for Atlanta to let go of him. I mean, I don't know. I would even dare to say that even if we somewhat struggle to make the playoffs, I mean, he's still gonna be the head coach next year.
I mean, it
Um,
depends what happens with the roster too. Like if everybody gets healthy and they're still losing, and Joseph's still good, but they're still losing games, maybe.
that's
You know,
another, yeah, that's another outcome as well. Now, I mean, we have definitely a quote unquote harder schedule. Out of the games that we have Montreal, which is the next one. We have Chicago, New England after that, Nashville, and then Columbus, which I'm going to that game, that Columbus Crew game, the May 28th game. But out of all those opponents, which one do you think that Atlanta would struggle with the hardest?
uh, you got a lot of home games coming up, right? After the Montreal game, the next three out of 5. So 3 out of 6 games are at home. So we got 50-50, right?
Yeah.
Um, I would say the Nashville games are probably going to be the biggest struggle. Um, and they're Open
Oh
Cup
yeah, we
games
play
as
them
well.
twice. Yeah, yeah, we play them
Yeah,
twice. I forgot.
yeah, we got the Open Cup, so we play them like
Yeah.
every other week. So like we play them on the 11th and the 21st. So
Hmm.
that's going to be interesting to see. But I definitely think they're going to be the hardest team because I mean Chicago's been,
Yeah.
and then
The Rev have
uh,
also been crap.
yeah, and then Columbus. I mean they're talking about making some moves, and they probably do make a move here soon now that they've cleared a DP spot with Zardes
Yeah.
gone. So this could be a very different Columbus Crew by the time they get to town. But yeah, I don't know. I would definitely say the Nashville games are going to be a struggle.
Yeah. Hopefully, man, we start getting these guys back. Sosa, like, I mean, I would like to see him, getting 90 minutes to where I know he's, pressuring enough. And, I don't know. A lot of times I see like the guys are just not. We were talking about this Sunday as well. I think I mentioned it that, I feel like, the 50-50 balls have been an issue where I feel like the intensity is just not there to win those duels. I mean, in the air, obviously, we're not the tallest team. We have a lot of short guys, matter of fact, but when it comes to just like the tackles and stuff, I feel like Atlanta is not. Not want to say 100%, not giving 100%, but I just feel like we could be doing a little bit better when it comes to the intensity and fighting for those balls. I mean, neither do I want to see guys getting injured either, because I feel like, with our luck, that's something like a light, possible outcome. But you still would want to see, or personally, me, I feel like a lot of teams just catch us, kind of walking a lot of the times, or just, or have a little bit more grit, honestly. I feel like
We miss
everybody
a
just
little.
says at this point, man. It's like, well, not in the newer teams, but all these other teams is like, before we would put up 7 goals against them, 5 goals, and now it's like, they're they want payback, man. They're like, wanting to take advantage of the fact that they know that, this is not a 100% squad, at the moment. So
So you look at the past Atlanta United teams, and they had some grit to them. Laranowitz was a gritty player, right?
yeah.
And you had some guys out there that would, you didn't want to mess with them on the field, and we had that with Ozzy. The first time we've had it in a while. He's gone, and those guys make the enforcer type person, right? A little bit that that if you throw someone down, someone's going to be in your face. We don't have that guy. Moreno's not that. Almada's
No.
definitely not that. You
I
don't
would
have.
like, honestly, Miles to turn into that guy, man. I mean, we saw
It's
him
not
in
in
that.
him, man.
No, he it doesn't look like he has it. Maybe he could evolve into something similar to that. But
Yeah, I mean he's kind of the level-headed guy on the team, but like you don't have that guy that's, I don't know if you watched the Hawks series, um,
Hmm.
but I watched that
Unfortunately.
series, and PJ Tucker is a badass. And he was out there and he was getting in people's faces. He was hitting DeAndre Hunter in the face a couple times. I mean, he got the entire team around him yelling at him. And the Hawks didn't have that. They don't have that guy that's going to get in people's heads. You
Yeah.
need someone like that. You need a veteran. I think PJ Tucker is pretty old, from my understanding. I don't know how long he's been in the
Yeah.
league, but
Dude's like in upper 30s, I believe. Yeah.
hold on, I got he's 36, so I'm older than him, so that so he's not that old, I guess. But like he was in people's faces, and like you knew with Lorenowitz, you messed up in that midfield, or you hit Joseph, he was going to be right in your face, and we don't have that. And Ibarra might be that guy. We just haven't seen him enough. But he's not a regular player, and I don't see him becoming a regular player. Um, I just don't see it happening. Um, late in the game, he could be a guy, or Sosa's out, or maybe you're up 2-1 and you take out uh, Hyman and or Rosetto and put Ibarra in and get two defensive guys in the midfield there. But I just don't see it. So who's going to be that guy for the first 45 minutes of the game or 60 minutes of the game, right? Like it's just there's just nobody there. So um I don't know.
Yeah, there's still a lot of things, honestly, up in there for when it comes to the goals, when it comes to the basically having that grit. He's talking about boy out here talking about he deserves to play Ibarra. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Ibarra just hasn't. He's been really lucky, honestly. So probably one of our players last year, especially
Is my internet
when
going out or is your internet going out? I can't tell. You're frozen, but I don't know if I'm frozen.
uh,
Who's
was
frozen?
I'm not frozen either. Are you? But it does. I think it's mine. I think it's mine that's like. I mean, I'm still able to hear you and everything.
Oh,
Where?
you're freezing. Maybe it's just me. Whatever. We'll just keep going.
Yeah, but yeah, with the bar, I mean, I just feel he's been really unlucky. Rosetto, he was pretty good the beginning of the season for us as well this year. So I would hope and think that it's a pairing of Sosa and Rosetto in the middle. So I don't think Pineda would switch into something crazy, or being how conservative he is, because going back to what our boy said over here, that his tactics suck. I mean, to a certain degree, yeah, and I mean, not gonna say that it just sucks. I mean, the man is just unexperienced. He's been an assistant coach to a great coach in Seattle, but it's not like he had 100% control of the squad, or when it came to the tactical side of things. So it's a guy that's still figuring it out, basically, on that in that sense. And with the lack of available players, it's tough. So given the fact that we're still being able to somewhat make it work, we've been able to pick up points, I guess half-ass points to a certain degree, but we're still in fourth. I mean, this year, honestly, the East hasn't been as competitive as it was, previous years, because I don't even think it was that like that last year. Um, in my opinion, but I would definitely think that we would be, or that we are in a good enough position where it's not like we're already thinking that we're not going to make the playoffs, unless, like we were saying earlier, something just disastrous happens. Unlikely. um I mean, I don't think it get more disastrous than having Joseph be gone, getting surgery, Guzan going out, Ozzy going out. Campbell getting injured. I mean, it's like seriously. I mean, at what point can it get worse? So you once you start recovering these guys, eventually, you're gonna see better play.
Yeah, and you've got this roster is not complete. It's not even close to complete, and now you've cleared up two spots, right? On your roster, you cleaned up three. You picked up a player today with Rocco's back, so you've got two spots left, and yeah, you're going to be able to get some probably crappy players. You might be able to bring up a couple players from the twos for that, but you still got the U22 spot, right? So you're going to be able to bring another player in. Hoppy could be the guy. We don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see here. We could see an internal MLS trade. That's another thing. That I was trying to think about it on Spaces on Sunday, but Justin Merrim, like, remember when Justin Merrim came in?
Yeah.
Like, that guy immediately made an impact on the squad.
Yeah,
And
scored two goals on his debut against Montreal. Actually, I was there that game.
yeah, I mean, he was immediately an impact. So, you know, if they don't do anything before this transfer window ends, I will be a little bit concerned. I don't know when it ends, but like it's only closed for a very short time, anyways, because then it almost opens like immediately after that. But you've got that opportunity to be able to bring some players in here to potentially make an impact. So I'm interested to see what happens. One of the other questions that I brought up was, does Dom Dwyer change that game? And I don't know. Cisneros did score, so we do have a good slot open. I see a spot in there, but we do have the U22 spot. So I think that's just a
Yeah, that's probably
fine spot
the.
there.
Yeah, that's probably the.
It is your spot. Like that's where you can bring in a player. So I mean that's what Hoppy could be. He would fit into that role of U22. So that is a spot. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be interesting. I mean, and that's if they bring him in. And it'll be interesting to see what he can do because he hasn't had any playing time, right? Like, I mean, he hasn't been playing at all, so
Mhm.
it's probably going to take him a little bit. But this front office likes to bring in these guys that have been underused and hope that they can, turn it up. And I mean, Cisneros is one of those guys, right? He's been sitting on the bench until he's come
Yeah.
in, and I don't know. I saw some improvement on Sunday from him. I mean, obviously he scored that goal, but he got in some other opportunities. Um, and how about Jackson? He comes in and almost like he has a ball land right by his feet. I mean, it would have been a really hard goal to score, but I mean, I'll say one thing about Jackson. He can definitely like he's always in that spot. Like he's there. He might not always be able to finish, but he always seems like he's in that spot to be able to score a goal.
Yeah.
If only he just had a little bit more playing time. Which is
He could
why
be.
when he doesn't play for the twos, it beyond pisses me off. If Hoppy comes in, Conway needs to play every single game for the twos. I don't care who else is there. He needs to play every single game to figure out, get this kid confidence and get him some playing time. If not, loan him out. Get him out of here. Get him out of Atlanta. Send him anywhere. Have him play time. If he's our future, that's great. But he needs to play. He's too young of a player right now to be able to be not playing.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely be looking at a whole different Atlanta United team. Well, not whole different, but if they bring the guys that were, Hoppy and, I don't, we haven't really heard any rumors about anybody else being linked with Atlanta United so far.
A couple
So,
of the Mexican players, I saw that like rumor. There was like a couple
really,
guys, but
I
like they
really
were.
haven't seen anything. But I mean,
It was.
it's
I don't think it was anything legit, but I mean, it was just. I mean, there's a couple players that also have like unable to finish and not scoring goals.
yeah. So I mean, if the guys that Atlanta brings, whether they're guys here from MLS or outside, hopefully it starts, to where they're able to get minutes in quick and not have to. I feel like that's something that Pineda's been really cautious about as well. Like when these guys are new, kind of want to let them settle in, I guess. But I don't. I would think that a guy like Hoppy would pretty much not come here immediately and just tear it up, but I feel like he needs that confidence himself, to prove himself as well, to that you know that he can basically put goals away. I don't know. We're just honestly speculating a lot of possible outcomes, and hopefully we see something soon. Um, you know, we're just waiting, honestly. I mean, at this point, it's just a matter of waiting for the guys to get back healthy and for any transfer news, honestly.
If you're Joseph Martinez, what is it? Again, maybe Happy can play on the wings, even though our wings are technically set. I mean, he would just be a depth piece at that point. But like, what does it say to him when there's four strikers on the roster?
Yeah, that's another interesting thing, honestly, because we're kind of racking up a lot of forwards, and I mean,
Got to catch them all. You got to
yeah,
catch
and
all the Pokemon, all the
yeah, and
strikers.
the funny thing is not well. I mean, I feel like Dom Dwyer could honestly be a good forward, if he gets the playing time, if he's able to stay healthy. So I mean, I feel like he's technical enough to work himself around, the both center backs, and is smart enough. And I don't really know if he's a fast player, but I'll be able to think that he's smart enough to with his movement basically create something.
Well, in my FIFA season, I put two guys up front. It was Hoppy and Joseph, and they killed it, man. They killed it. So
That's another thing. I don't remember when Pineda mentioned it, but it was, I think we did mention that on here as well. About playing with two forwards. I don't remember when. I think there was a game where Joseph was playing alongside Dwyer. Um, and I mean that's another option for Pineda. Trying to give both or two forwards. I mean some confidence in playing time, and trying to be able to get some chemistry. Alongside the other players. That's also a big option for him.
well, didn't that happen the first game when Aruju got knocked out? Then Dwyer
Yeah, it
came
was that
in.
game, but it happened another one as well. I mean, that one was kind of forced, but it happened another time. I believe we were
Joseph
like
made a sweet
down.
pass to Dwyer in that game.
Yeah, but it was another time where we were down a goal. I remember we were down, and that's why he came, and he came on, and I remember that Pineda had actually mentioned that pregame, and he was like, if it comes to a point where we have to play with two forwards because of the result or whatever, and it ended up happening in that game. I don't remember which game it was, but yeah, the same one, with the first one of the season. What's
Yeah.
up, Josh?
So
But
Josh,
I mean, it's gonna be interesting, honestly. We're not in a bad position, honestly, man. We're not at the point where we've at least racked up points. We're not sitting the last five spots. We this is the thing that I know that worries a lot of people. Is the fact that to the opponents that we've been picking or losing points to, it's opponents that in theory you should not be losing to, in theory, because of the amount of
who they are?
yeah, basically. I mean, Cincinnati, basically a new team which has struggled. Charlotte
Yeah.
being another team. I mean, they're not playing the greatest soccer, but I mean, Charlotte is actually a pretty decent team in my opinion. For being the first 10 games that they've been playing, they haven't been great, but neither they've been atrocious. But like I said, in theory, you would think that Atlanta United would win these games, but you have a quote unquote roster that's full of stars that are not there. They just haven't been playing together, so it's a be matter of time, honestly. But hopefully,
Uh, you know, I think people tend to forget, like especially in like year after we won the championship, like teams were just bunkering, and we were getting draws, and we'd even lose a game because
mm,
they would bunker the entire game, and it happens, and it's early. The second half of the season is definitely hard. It's harder than what we got right now. 100%. A lot of these games are on the road, though. We're not blowing a ton of games at home. I know the Cincinnati game was at home, but yeah, I mean we're struggling, especially on the road. But I wouldn't be worried yet. And Josh, I'm going to disagree with you. I think Gutman's been in great form. I think Gutman's been consistently one of our best players. And yeah, I know he missed that open shot in the Cincinnati game right in front when somehow he became a striker. I don't know how that happened there, but um, he's been fantastic. And whoever he's got on the left side, I mean, he's working well with everybody. Um, he is such an upgrade over Bello. I can't even I love Bello. He's one of my favorite players, but Gutman's just something else. I absolutely love watching him play.
yeah. I mean, he's definitely been an upgrade on the left side. Wiley, he's been an interesting player for Atlanta. I mean, in my understanding, I feel like he's not gonna be the type of player that's gonna be around here, honestly, more than 2 to 3 years. And we I feel like the technical staff or Pineda or whoever is, I guess, in charge of this is like has to figure out basically what his biggest
Where he
not
played,
struggle not no well, yeah, his strength, and like what his biggest struggle is. I mean, technically he's really good. I feel like
he's
he if
smart.
he's yeah,
He's very
he's
smart.
really smart. I mean, he's got really good control, good, very technical. But if he's a player that's able to add some type of finishing, or able to get more forward and be dangerous with the ball, basically a Alfonso Davis type of player. I mean, he could have a big roof. I mean, I don't remember if it was on Twitter Spaces we were talking about this. I mean, he has a bigger roof, in my opinion, than Bello, and probably Miles. I mean,
Wiley,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, he's also. I think that he's. I don't think he's fully built yet either. I think he could become a much more physical player as
yeah. I
well. But he's
mean,
young.
yeah.
I mean, uh, no, I'm just reading all these comments
Josh,
here.
yeah, no, I'm trying to read Josh's comment right now, saying Gutman attacking wise is bad. He's good in build up and usually defending, but it wasn't good defending against Miami. Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
I
he's
feel like again,
exhausted. I think I think that
yeah,
he's really beat, and I think his first time getting subbed off was the Open Cup game, and I actually kind of questioned why he even started that game, because I thought he could have got some rest because Hernandez did start that game, right? Yeah, Ronald did start
yeah,
the
Ronald
Open Cup
started.
game.
Yeah,
So I mean, I understand that. I think and Wiley, I think their plan was to play him in Miami, so that's why they want to play him that one. But I think that he's just getting exhausted at this point. Dijon's going to start for us. So yeah, the man bun's going to play. I
I
don't know.
mean,
I
we
don't think
have what we have. I don't know, man. I just lost my train of thought. Honestly, I completely lost my train of thought
Dijon.
just now.
I like
No,
what
no, I
Dijon.
forgot really.
I don't mind him. I mean, we haven't seen much of his play, so take that. But I think his last appearance was when he broke his elbow in Nashville, or he broke something. In that game. and like they had no subs left, so he had to finish the game. I think that was the game where we ended up getting like a draw. I think that was the 2020 season. It was like one of the only bright spots of the season was him, being able to make that. But yeah, I like I he can't be that bad, right? He can't have been worse than what Campbell did the other day because
Yeah.
I thought Campbell was just absolutely atrocious. So
Our personal, I mean, like the issues that we had on defense or the errors that we had were more of like, understanding. I mean,
it's
I don't
single
know.
person mistakes. It's it's individual mistakes, and I think that's
Yeah,
what we really need to focus on here. It's a single person's mistake, and sometimes a lot of times Miles has to go in and fix that mistake. Franco's mistakes, uh, Campbell's mistakes, which is why Miles is just so good. But it's these single mistakes, and I mean that pass that he did. I think he was trying to get it to Sosa in the midfield, but that was like when you accidentally hit the pass button in FIFA and you're trying to hold it down, you accidentally let it go, and it just
yeah.
goes just like a little, and and then it just got stolen. Like it was terrible, and he knows it was terrible, and he knows that was the reason why they lost the game. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of times, yeah, man. I don't want to like. I want to say it, but I don't. And I'm like, God damn it, bro.
Say it.
Atlanta United is gonna make me get some damn gray hair, man. I swear, this is the only team that makes me like freaking
Only
just
team, you
have
live in
freaking
Atlanta.
anxiety attacks, bro.
You live in Atlanta. How is this the only team that gives you gray hair?
I don't follow the Falcons. I'm not, so I actually have some relief when it comes to that. I mean,
I miss you, Matt. Did he freeze
with
again?
the Hawks, that's a different. Yeah, I did, man. I ended up
Yeah.
freezing. Yeah. Score predictions. Yeah, we didn't do that, man. I forgot about the score predictions for this weekend. Man. Playing Montreal at home. I don't know if we'll be having Araujo start. Maybe.
Well, Darren Neal says he was on Dukes and Bell, and he said that was the hope was for him to start. So I would assume that he does start. I know that they're being cautious of all these players. I mean, that's why Franco and Rossetto didn't go, right? So I know that they're trying to uh, um, be
Yeah,
safe, but
oh yeah, both of them, because they're talking about 2-0 Montreal, and then both of them, and I'm like, wait, so we lose against Montreal, but then both of them are like, no, it's a W for Atlanta, but 2-0, 1-1. That's what you say?
yeah, 1-1, baby.
I think I'll probably go with yours too, because I think 1-1. I don't see neither
It's a win
team.
too. Like it's a win. If it's a 1-1, it's a win to me. I think
Um,
that they're going into a tough. It's 10-0 Atlanta.
Dependent, man. Because if we have 20 shots on goal and we walk out of there with 1 goal, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be a win for me. So
If they do continue to dominate, and move forward, and the XG is like 3.2 to 1, and they score and it's 1-1. Yeah, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm
yeah,
getting to the frustration point that people were just a couple weeks ago in Cincinnati, and like I get why people were upset, but they really were up. I think they were overreacting in this after the Cincinnati game. If I will get to that point, if we get to 3 games, we're creating all these opportunities and we're not scoring. They're going to have to do something very quickly, um, and they're going to have to. They have to get a goal scorer. They got to get a guy that's going to be able to finish. And
yeah,
I will say the only thing that made me feel better is that our striker had opportunities, and we haven't seen our striker have opportunities like at all. Besides, obviously, Open Cup game where Dom was, we're not firing Pineda. Holy shit, we're not firing Pineda. Oh my god, oh,
yeah.
he angers me so much sometimes. We're not firing him.
Oh no, man! I don't
Get
think
off the
like we were
screen.
saying.
Get
Nah,
that. Go to another comic. Go to another
Pineda's not.
comic. Get it off. Thank
Pineda's
you.
not going anywhere this season, man. Yeah, but when it comes to the score, to the score of Montreal, we have a lot of guys saying here that we're gonna win, obviously, but honestly, man, yeah, the draw was it's the most likely result in my opinion. I don't see if I will be honestly, and I know it's gonna sound weird, but I'll be more surprised if we end up walking out of there with a win and we win comfortable and basically put up a game that we haven't seen probably since what last year when we beat Orlando and Cincinnati back to back where we score I think like 7 goals in those 2 games. So I'll be more surprised if something like that. Hoping or not hoping, but thinking it'll be a more physical game. Possible red cards, who knows? We already had what Joseph and Wanyama last year get at it. I think I don't remember. Was it Miles the one that got the red card this year against them too? We
And
had that.
two. Miles.
Montreal. Yeah, because we had a red card against them. That's who we ended up playing against with 10 men.
Today or this season?
Yeah.
Colorado. Miles
Was
got
it?
2 yellows in Colorado.
No, but against Montreal, we had somebody else get a red card as well. Because I remember, like, I don't know for what reason. I think the last 2 or 3 games we had red cards against Montreal. So that's why I'm like, I mean, it's one of those games where it's like gets kind of chippy for Atlanta. But
no, Dom Dwyer got a red.
You're right, yeah. Yeah. But honestly, man, I don't know. I lost my train of thought again. God damn it, man. I'm getting really bad with this. Like seriously, I don't know why I lose my train of thought so damn quick. But
Kyle, you're not banned, but the other guy is. He's off that screen.
Dude, I want to know how do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce his username? Because I'm still having.
I think you pronounce it annoying. I think that's how it is. I think that's
bro. Yeah, no, I don't know. I just call him Sylph because I don't know. I don't know, man. I just I know his actual name, but I just don't want to say it because just for personal reasons. But
I started messing with him. He was begging for them to announce somebody.
Mata.
No, it was Lopez. It was Lopez.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He put announce Lopez and something about buying a scarf. Or I said they released the scarf of the month, and I said if they announce until you got to get that scarf, and he said done, and they announced it, and he never got the scarf. So that's why good things don't happen to Atlanta United, because he never bought a scarf. So it was Sosa. That was it. I knew it was somebody. Wami.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, at least now we find out how to pronounce his username. Yeah, because I always had struggle for real. Because every time your comments popped up, I'm like, damn it, man, I don't want to mispronounce his username. But at least we know now, man. Yeah, paying $40 for a damn scarf.
Hey, you made the rule. I didn't make the rule. You made the rule. You just took you didn't follow through. So that's your bad.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there's anything else you got to add. Going into this week or anything previous.
When Atlanta United scores 2 goals, I'm going to take down this Christmas tree. When they score 2 goals in an actual game, I will take down this Christmas tree. I promise.
Have you had it just since this past Christmas, or you just been waiting for
this past Christmas?
Oh, okay.
I finally got rid of the Dom jersey that I put under it when they cut him. It was down here for a while, and my dog peed on the jersey, so it was I had to get rid of it. True story.
Oh damn! I thought you were just BS.
No, it peed on my Jurgen Damm jersey. So that was a lot of fun. He does haunt the tree. It does haunt the tree. It's yeah, it's been something. But yeah, I mean, well,
Yeah,
this is a hell of a week for Atlanta. Every team lost to Miami on Sunday, which sucks.
that was disappointing, honestly, man. I was not hoping to. I didn't watch the baseball game. The soccer game and the basketball I did, and the basketball game, honestly, I don't know. Like how you were saying earlier, man. It's just the guys don't really have nobody that's gonna stick out for them. Trey is not really that guy. Actually, with a couple of guys on here, we were talking about, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not a big basketball person, but I feel like Atlanta needs like a second, all-star basically that's able to play both ways, really
Yeah, John
well.
Collins is going to be traded in the offseason, 100%, and they're going to go find someone better. We got Falcons. We got the draft tomorrow, so I got a 2-day party I'm going to watch the draft. With a bunch of Cleveland Browns fans, so pray for me. And then
All right,
we got the game on Saturday, so it's going to be a fun weekend.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I forgot we're Wednesday already, but yeah, man. All right, well, Tommy, thank you for your time, and hopefully we see all these guys here again next week. Get Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, but hopefully, man, we're here, again next week. Thank you guys for the ones that are here, always commenting, with our questions or, trying to get somebody else blocked or whatever. But thank you guys, and all right, Tommy, I'll see you next week, dude. Hopefully.
Oh, next week's Doctor Strange, so we got to do this early in the week. I got to go see Doctor and Cinco de Mayo. So I do a lot of drinking then, so we got to definitely figure out early in the week.
Damn, that's already we're already at 27. I forgot totally.
It's my favorite drinking holiday. We gotta make sure we do this early.
All right, dude. Well, just let me know, man. Thank you, dude.
All right.
All right,
See you
man.
guys.